Okay, this is the season finale of season one. A no rough type of deal for Breaking Bad, and a lot of things really happened in this episode.
That's right.
Um, you have Skyler finding out Marie stole the tiara. Walt and Jesse is still in methylamine. Um, Tuco is they finally got a drug deal going on with Tuco. Um, let's just start with the beginning with Walt and at the faculty meeting about the janitor that got arrested for pot.
Yeah, what was it? What was his name?
Um, I know his last name was Archuleta.
Achille, yeah, something like that. Yep.
His last name was Archuleta. His first name started with an H.
Okay.
I forgot. I completely. We discussed that last week, but I forgot.
Nice guy though.
Yeah.
Apparently, he just doesn't do the right thing. He's not suitable for working in a school.
Yeah, I'm surprised. They said they did a background check, but nothing came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the beginning, you see Walt, messing around with Skyler in public too.
Was that this episode?
Yeah, it was this episode, and then they do it in their vehicle later
Oh,
later on. Yeah, yeah, this is the one. Yeah, this episode, Walt is really ballsy. He's really more confident in this episode than any of the past episodes.
well, he's getting that confidence from his dealings.
Yeah, his Heisenberg persona.
Yep, he's the man.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I have written down here is like it. Okay, was that the beginning? That was at the very beginning he got arrested?
He wasn't arrested in the beginning. He was fooling around with Skyler under the desk, under the table.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So my notes are kind of confused here. I start like the way I started off here. I have Jesse and the real estate agent.
I think that's when Walt goes to Jesse, and that's when that real estate agent shows up.
Okay, and it's supposed to be a fantastic neighborhood, but the house is kind of falling apart,
Yeah.
and I don't know. He was
Yeah, they was showing him around.
and Jesse's in the RV, right? He's sleeping in the RV because he's been beaten up by Tuco, and Walt just gives him a whole bunch of money.
Yeah, he met Tuco from the previous episode, and he got Tuco finally to give him the money,
Yeah.
and Walt gave Jesse his half plus another 1,500 because of I guess pain and suffering.
Was it 1,500? Yeah. And Jesse's not too happy with the idea of
Yeah.
working with Walt and Tuco together.
Mhm. Yeah. At the beginning, he wasn't too fond of it, and I'm sure he isn't still.
Oh, because he got beat up pretty good.
He got his ass whooped.
Yeah.
He got his ass handed to him, to put
That's
it
right.
lightly.
Yeah. And then they're trying to get enough. Was it Jesse saying he wants to do it without? He's not going to have enough pseudo, right, to
Yeah.
produce what he wants to
Uh,
what they want to make for
yeah, they want
Tuco.
to make 4 pounds for Tuco.
Was it 4 pounds?
I think it started at 2, but then Walt upped it to 4.
Oh yes, because he's all ballsy now.
Yeah, he's all balls. I mean, he just fooled around with Skyler in front of everybody, and then in the next scene you have having him and Skyler having sex in the car with the police car right next to it. I mean, this one is very very little dark, but you see Heisenberg coming out of Walt in this one. He's getting
Yeah,
ballsier.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, early Walt would never do this.
Oh no, he was too
Oh,
passive.
yeah, especially with that scene with him and Hank at the baby shower, where
Hmm.
he was smoking the Cuban. And he was like, "Isn't this illegal?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
by the way, are Cubans still illegal in America?
I think they are. I think we're
See,
still on that
in
embargo.
Canada, they're legal. They're legal up here.
Yeah, we're still with an embargo with Cuba.
That's right. Okay, okay.
Yeah, we're not even allowed to visit the country.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
Yeah, unless you get like special permission.
from the government.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Strange.
Yeah, I know, which is weird. I still don't know why we're still on that embargo.
Yeah, yeah. I guess old wounds, eh?
Yeah. Again, that's why Canada is a little bit better than the United States.
Well, in some ways, I can't say that Canada's better in all ways, but you guys could roll over and crush us.
Yeah.
So, where were we? We were at.
Well, after that scene, Walt goes to Jesse, gives him the money, and say, "Hey, we're going to start cooking again." And,
Right.
And Jesse's like, "I don't have enough pseudo, man. I have to get some more Smurfs to give me some more pseudo."
Right.
Yeah.
And Smurfs are the guys that go and get the pills, right?
Yeah, go get the pills, and then
A
Jesse.
couple boxes at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just it's not really suspicious. Let's get a whole caseload of pseudoephedrine.
Yeah.
Which is also, by the way, pretty legal in Canada.
Oh wow.
Yeah. You can go to any health food store and buy pseudoephedrine.
You see, in the United States, there's this card that you have to give to the pharmacy, and they have to get unlock it from the.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they have to unlock it to before we can buy it.
Okay.
It's Ellen.
I had such a hard time getting in, sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
It kept telling me I was all alone.
Yeah, so this is the season 1 finale.
How far did you get? What did...
We're talking about the beginning, how Walt is a little more ballsier in this episode than he was the past episodes.
Very confident.
Yeah. I mean, he just fooled around with Skyler in front of everybody under the table.
Exactly the first thing I was thinking about, yeah. And, yeah, I didn't get to look over my notes. I studied last night, but he's ballsy with Tuco.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 4 pounds.
Jesse's like, what? You just don't do this. You don't mess with this guy.
I mean, he meets Tuco out in the middle of nowhere in a junkyard. Anything can happen.
Yeah, yeah.
And it does at the end.
And isn't it ironic, though, that that Tuco says the same thing Jesse did, like, why not the mall?
Yeah,
why out here?
All closed.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, Walt's doing pretty well with Tuco at first.
Mm-hmm.
And until he goes into that, I want all the money, 4 pounds.
Yeah.
He pisses Tuco off.
Yeah.
He didn't know when to stop.
He challenges him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's lighting matches around a can of gasoline.
Very, very, very brave.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe too brave. But
Overconfidence, maybe. Overconfident.
Greedy.
And the thrill of illegality
mm-hmm.
it keeps running through this. From the sex in the car to the discussion with Hank
mm-hmm.
about what's legal, what's not legal, to just doing it himself. Let's steal this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Did we lose her?
We probably did. Hey. Yeah, we probably lost her. Oh,
there she is.
Yeah, Google doesn't like me today.
Yeah. I think there should be an alternative instead of Google Hangout. I wish there was an alternative.
I haven't done this in so long that I wouldn't even know.
Some people use something called Tiny Chat.
Tiny Chat? I'm gonna have to
Yeah, but I don't know if you can record it.
Yeah, I haven't had problems before. I don't know what it is today, but
Google likes to update almost every single day.
that's it. Now it looks like I'm here twice.
Yeah.
One of me is a cat. So
A cat.
But, Skyler, to do that whole Skyler defense thing, is a really good wife in this episode. I don't recall any nagging of any sort.
No.
She goes along with everything. The sex in the car, the sweat lodge lie.
Mm-hmm.
And of course I'm good with you going to this. And
Well,
and
she brought it up about the
she brought up
the Eastern medicine.
right.
Yeah.
And then he Googled a good lie for it.
Yeah.
And okay, this is going on. This is where I'm going.
Basically, she kind of helped him with that lie.
Yeah. And she was surprised at, but it wasn't naggy. It was more, that's not like you.
Mm-hmm.
But sure, do it, I mean, she's desperate for anything. Because there's a contrast going on. That scene in the doctor's office, Skyler is really upbeat and excited and, even tells the doctor he's more frisky.
Mm-hmm.
He's more sexual. She has no idea that it's not anything to do with how he's feeling physically. It's all the ego inflating.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor sort of brings her down from her high expectations and says, let's be realistic about this.
Yeah.
And then from there, they cut to the shot of the graveyard. Graveyard, might as well be. It is, actually. Junkyard.
Yeah.
This happy Skyler, everything's looking great, and then junkyard,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
which was a really, really good contrast in this. Did you guys talk about how the opening is so awesome? The meth equals death thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that on the chalkboard, I think it was.
What is that? Sorry?
When the opening, when Carmen was doing the little introduction about the whole deal with the janitor, and
Oh, yeah.
there's a sign in the background that says meth equals death.
That's the meeting. It's the whole meeting that Skyler and Walter are at, where Walt, at first he actually looks kind of uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and then he distracts himself.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, all of the meeting fades away into the background. You don't see it. It's very muted. It's very blurry. Not blurry. You know what I mean? Blurry sound, if you can have blurry sound. And it's just those two. Very humorous when Carmen gets Walt's attention because he has to read the inventory list.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to stop what they're doing, and Skyler, and just trying to compose herself. They're still a good couple, and she's trusting him,
Mm-hmm.
even though she's already had some problems. She feels like she can believe what he says, and things are really good.
Mm-hmm.
But oh, and that because it was illegal stuff comes up a couple of times.
Yeah.
I
Meth
think it
used to
comes
be
up-
illegal.
Right. Well, I don't know. The first one is, why was that so good? Because it was illegal.
Mm-hmm.
And then it comes up in the end in something. And I'm not sure if it's the conversation with Hank. But
I think it was with Hank and Walt when they was talking about the Cuban cigars,
right.
and he said the best things in life is always illegal.
Yeah, you know what? That's it, because Hank
It's
says something
arbitrary.
like, the forbidden fruits are always the sweetest.
Yeah.
So we got a little theme there going.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, we don't even know, at the shower, when Hank gets uncomfortable and wants something harder to drink and get away, we think he's just bored,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not that. We won't, Do we find that out in this? Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
But the thing we don't know is that Hank is aware.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's aware that his wife.
His wife stole the tiara.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that he knew that. I guess did he know at that point?
Later we'll find out he does.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Must have slipped my mind. I must have slipped on that one.
Yeah, because in the later episode, when she goes to those houses and steals those things, he
The
comes
spoons.
in that, why are you doing this to me again?
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I think where we really find out is when Skyler's not talking to Maurice, so Hank goes over to try to talk Skyler into it.
Mm-hmm.
And Skyler thinks she's informing Hank about this whole situation, and he's like, well, I thought you were going to return it, admitting he knew.
Yeah.
Another thing I saw was that there's Skyler and Walt both doing their lying.
Mm-hmm.
No, Skyler does her lying at Gertrude Zachary's.
Yeah.
And, she isn't innocent, and she's just trying to get out of a bad situation. And the fiction writer / actress in her can, act like she's in labor, but she's quick with the things that I'll go to the news and say you detained a pregnant woman without any evidence.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first of many times we see Skyler doing some great lying, and she could be a criminal mastermind like Walt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she could be.
Yeah, I like it, especially when she did that fake pregnancy, going into labor.
Yeah. Yeah, the Lamaze breathing and all.
Mm-hmm.
Make them really, really uncomfortable.
I just don't understand how the guy got confused, because he said that a tall blonde woman, and Marie's not blonde. She's brunette.
Yeah.
They weren't confused. They had the stolen merchandise. That's all they cared about. And they were going to arrest whoever had it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I suppose.
I think that's what they were doing. But you'd think a place like that would have video cameras anyway.
Yeah.
But I think they wanted an admission from her or something, begging for mercy,
Mm-hmm.
I like the shower sequence because it's all shot amateur style with Junior doing it, and Marie and the Esmeralda thing, and Marie is like at the height of obnoxiousness. She's
She was so drunk right there.
Oh yeah, and all about herself, and even being so bold as to try to pick out the name, and the whole and Skyler and the stupid tiara. This is like I'm on Skyler's side. You don't need a tiara. You need supplies. But I guess that would have been harder to steal. But Skyler tries so hard to act happy. Like, this is really great. This tiara is so sparkly. Thank you so much. And she's like, I wish you hadn't done this. You really...
Go ahead.
No, you really, really shouldn't have done this, Marie.
What I noticed was when you brought up the fact that when Skyler went to Gretchen and Elliot's party, she had that blue, loud dress on.
That was, oh my god, I forgot her name already. Marty?
Yeah.
Marty was the one. She couldn't stand that dress.
Yeah, and Marie did the same thing, but this was purple.
Yeah, well, she's got to wear purple. But yeah, and sparkly, like, look at me, I'm standing out.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about Marie. She picks out the best wrapping paper. She gets the most decadent gift.
Mm-hmm.
The tiara, the royalty thing. And she's already predicted she won't age. But, I mean, I feel like I'm all over the place with this, but I love how I discover something new about these episodes, and this one was about selling your soul. Walt was really selling his soul to the devil in this one. And, you know, in the immediate sense, that's Tuco. In the larger picture, it's continuing with this business. The song that they picked at the end, "Who's Gonna Save My Soul Now?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And Jesse even has a little tirade when he's in the RV because he doesn't want to be in the house because it's haunted with the raspberry slush going down the toilet, and he's recovering from his beating. And he's like, you just don't make deals with somebody like this.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like he's talking him out of trying to sell his soul to the devil. But he does. I'll give you £4.
Yep.
And that song, I mean, I just got that kind of impression that this is a point of no return.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm jumping ahead to what the consequences are of Tuco.
What was your favorite part of this episode?
My favorite part has to be the methylamine scene.
The thermite. I like the thermite scene.
Yeah. I like that because it was Three Stooges-esque.
Yeah, oh yeah. Roll it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they learn to roll it later.
Why the hell you open that door?
Yeah.
And then they
the porta potty.
The porta potty.
Yeah.
Oh, of course we've got the epic yes science.
Yeah, yes science. Yeah, Mr. White.
I'm not sure I have a favorite part of this episode. God.
Well, how does it end? This it ends with
They're freaked out.
Yeah.
They're really freaked out because
beating up Dodos.
What was the time gap between this episode and the next episode?
There was not much of a significant time gap. It picked right back up.
I would say, days at the most. We head into a weekend where they're going to do the sweat lodge thing. Or he's going to do the sweat lodge lie so that he can cook and meet with Tuco. And not so long ago, I think I mentioned this last week, that Nodo's watched Tuco beat the hell out of Jesse with that bag of money and smiled. And this week, it was karma.
Yeah. And if you notice, Walt was getting ballsy and wanted to interfere, but the big dude waved them off, said don't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Gonzo.
It's not Christian. That guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Gonzo doesn't want to see any more escalation or blood. He just wants to move on, so silently without Tuco being able to see. But, you know, Tuco's insane.
Yeah.
You know, Tuco cannot be reasoned with in a moral sense, in a psychological sense. He is the devil.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah.
He has no regard for anyone but himself.
The only thing that set him off was just know who you're working for. That was it.
Yes.
That set him off.
Right. I mean, and you can tell this is a guy who doesn't even need the meth to be crazy.
No.
And he's doing the meth anyway, and
yeah.
You know what? That's got to be my whole favorite scene, I think. The interaction with Tuco and Tuco doing what he did. And just the way Walt and Jesse take off their sunglasses at the same time, and, you know...
they realize how serious it is.
They don't say anything after that beating.
No.
They just look at each other.
We're in this.
Yeah, and the look on their faces, I mean, is the same. And it speaks volumes, and I love that kind of wordless acting. You knew how they felt about that. Like, what do we just... Actually, Jesse did say, and I don't know if this was before the beating or after the beating. I think it was after. What did you just do?
Yeah, I think he's at
again, going back to that selling his soul thing. What did you just do? As if this can't be undone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that Tuco was it's so insane and fun to watch. And what is it? Who's it? Raymond Cruz is the actor.
Mm-hmm.
He said
Yeah.
he strained a tendon or something. It has to be that scene because all he said was, "I was carrying that dude," and I think he means Nodos. Yeah, Nodos.
Yeah.
And it was just he had to be all wound up and crazy. And he was in The Closer, and I don't know if you watched that, but his character is very, very chill, subdued, good guy.
Detective in that one?
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, he's not really prone to giant fits like this at all. And Tuco has got to be physically demanding. Not just the carrying stuff, but the way you have to hold yourself and act and like scream, and you have to make your whole face turn beet red. You have to look like you're just ready to explode, and he really does.
You have to become the person you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like reminds me of Jim Carrey in Man on the Moon. He became Andy Kaufman.
Yeah. Well, Heath Ledger in The Joker, I heard that he locked himself in his hotel room and started writing a diary down of what the Joker might do.
Mm. Wow.
Oh. I love Meryl Streep becoming Margaret Thatcher and making her sympathetic, because Meryl Streep, when Margaret Thatcher was in power, would not have been a fan, to put it mildly.
No.
And in that film, Margaret Thatcher becomes a sympathetic character without hiding the truth, and it was fantastic. And then she actually plays Margaret Thatcher during her time as Prime Minister, and Margaret Thatcher now in her older years battling with dementia.
I should watch that.
Oh, the dementia scenes are just mind-blowing. It's great. It's good.
Is that good, hey?
Yeah, she got an Oscar finally, again, because she hadn't won an Oscar for like 30 years, 29 years. And, yeah. She finally got an Oscar for that.
Yeah, Marty messaged me on Facebook, and she also mentioned about the "'cause it's illegal" line.
The Cousins what?
"'Cause it's illegal."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she also mentioned that, and she also caught out the agent, the real estate agent, saying "good bones." The house has good bones. When the people was walking by and they looked up at the ceiling, and they saw the big gap of the hole that they needed to fill.
Oh my God, I never even thought of bones as being like in a morbid sense. Is that what she means, you think?
Yeah. Because of that whole mess that Jesse made in the season 2.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
That is really good. I didn't think of that. I made a note about that. To me, it was something the real estate agent would say to really try to get rid of this property. This is not a dream, property for an agent. And, yeah.
I like how she takes the can of air freshener and sprays it.
Oh my God, the open house!
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really funny scene.
You got Walt and Jesse down in the basement cooking meth, and you have a whole bunch of people upstairs looking around the house.
Did Walt have a reason to, or did he just mention it? Because they haven't even started cooking yet. They just get downstairs.
You see, they was trying to leave, but the RV went turn on, so they had to do the next best thing, which
they had to cook in the basement.
Cook in the basement.
But then Walt's like, nobody's going to come looking at this place because it's for sale. And Jesse tries to call the real estate agent who's hanging streamers, banners, whatever, all over the yard.
Won't have their phone with them.
It was in her car.
it was in her car, but
Yeah, we
almost
got a
every
shot
real
of that.
estate agent will have their phone with them.
But she had it in her car. She was just running away for 2 minutes. Apparently she wasn't expecting a call from Jesse asking if this was not going on, and of course it's a freaking open house. And oh yeah, because apparently I didn't know this. My watching buddy said that it smells kind of like cat piss.
Pardon me?
That the smell from a meth cook, something I've never experienced. But he says it's supposed to smell like cat piss.
Well, that's what Todd said back there.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go there yet. He did.
Well, we can tease it. It'll be fine.
Or maybe I'll have to Google this and see if that's true. But they did use that hydrofluoric acid, which was what not Jesse, Todd was talking about, and it was used in this house in the bathtub. Maybe that's what smells like cat piss. Maybe they both do.
Maybe. We're not in the drug business, to tell you guys.
Oh yes, I noticed we got some Skyler, more of Skyler and the 80s music. Everybody's got their thing. It's funny because I think you see that, at least in one episode, that Walt gravitates more toward the 70s stuff. He is older than her. And anytime she hosts a party, there's 80s music playing.
Yeah. If you guys remember, I did that Breaking Bad playlist, and when you listen to it, I hear 80s music. I can hear it.
Yeah, it's Skyler's stuff.
Yeah. And then you got some of the 70s stuff with this Walt, and then you got you can tell in the seasons how the music changes throughout the season. Because in the earlier episodes, they had that hardcore rap. If you remember, they did the hardcore rap during the scene with the guy cooking the meth, and the DEA was busting down the door.
Oh yeah.
That was a really hardcore music rap scoring right there.
I like the music selections.
And when they end, oh my god, I just realized this, when they end, the very last song is a 70s song. Which is actually perfect for Walt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 70s, she's 80s. Marie is elevator music.
Hank is probably rock and roll.
I think country.
Oh yeah, he's probably Shania Twain, right? That's right.
I like when Hank said that about in the baby shower, that your Aunt Marie's going to the crazy home and I'm going to marry Shania Twain.
Is that who he's going to marry?
Yeah.
Because he wanted somebody else to give him a tuggy.
Shania Twain.
If Shania Twain, same person. All right. That's funny. But I love Walt's delivery on some things, you know. And when he gets really frustrated with Jesse's lack of forethought, is there by any chance an open house scheduled for today? That was comical. And house is not for sale. But apparently Jesse really wasn't going to be able to sell this. He didn't have the right to.
No, because we didn't find that out until about season 3, 4 maybe.
Yeah. Jesse didn't even bother to... The real estate agent didn't bother to find out if he really owned it. That's just not a dream property. I would try to get out of it.
Oh, I like what Jesse said to the guy. No, you ain't seen the basement, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the house is not for sale. Everybody get out. No theme music at the end of this, by the way.
Yeah, we just hear the Save Your Soul throughout the end.
Who's gonna save my soul?
Yeah.
And I scribbled that down. Gnarls Barkley. Yeah. And And this is the second time Jesse's warned him. Jesse is not the smart one.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to this stuff, when it comes to the street smarts. He's warned him. He wasn't really down with getting him involved with Tuco in the first place, and then after it went bad, and now it's going to turn into, okay, the guy's going to kill us.
Mm-hmm.
And by soul, who's going to save my soul also means who's going to save my life. Because I
think I have someone in mind that who's going to save Walt's life from Tuco, which is in season 2. Hank shoots Tuco. Spoiler alert: he died. So Hank actually saves Walt's soul, his soul, from Tuco by Hank. Hopefully you get what I mean.
Sort of.
Yeah, and I mean, Walt could have finished the job, but he decided to be sadistic about it and let him bleed out instead, which gave him a chance to climb out of that ditch.
Yeah. And once we get to that, I saw something that may foreshadow the series finale of Breaking Bad.
Ooh. Well, I think the math equals death thing at the very beginning foreshadowed a lot. Because I think to open with a slogan in a meeting like that, in a show like this, I could see them doing something if it were cheesy, this is your brain on drugs, something, but meth equals death.
Too, when they said meth equals death, because they wasn't even talking about meth at all. They was talking about the guy in the pot.
Right. But they knew that the equipment was being stolen, had been stolen for this purpose. It couldn't have been any other purpose. So, the police were in there, the APD, and they had that up there. It's like we take this seriously, but it does. Walt's meth business does equal death for a lot of people. And talking about that, my friend was arguing, well, maybe even himself, and I'm not too sure about that. I think Walt would have died of the cancer way before anything ever caught up to him.
Yeah.
If he hadn't been paying for his treatment, so.
Yeah, so let's do a little season 1 recap. Since you guys watched season 1, was there anything that jumped out at you the third, fourth time you guys watched it?
When I go back to it, I always marvel at how the transformation was so quick with Walt. If you think about it, the whole time span of this happening, it was so quick. Like,
what's the time span right now, do you think?
I say at least a month or 2.
It's got to be at least a month.
Yeah.
So maybe 2?
It's like a whole life change in that short time.
It started on his birthday.
Yeah.
And
Skyler was like, what, 5 months pregnant?
5, 6, yeah, something like that.
Probably like, I want to say we're in the 6 weeks to 2 months department. Because he hides the cancer for a month. From his birthday till a month after that, and then more transpires. But it is, he's already had one major, and here's the thing about this, is, alright, he tries it, we get why he's doing it, things go crazy, they could have died, he has to kill somebody, the money didn't end up being anything great, did it? Or they just didn't really have somebody to sell it to. They didn't have any money from that first. When they get involved with Emilio and Crazy 8, they never really make any money except for the teens that Jesse is selling.
Yeah.
So, a couple $1,000 maybe.
That's right.
And all of this other stuff that they had to go through, surviving these two coming up to the RV, having to kill Amelia, Crazy 8 again, having to dispose of the bodies, the damage it caused, Yeah. He didn't learn, and he went on to do it again. They both were like, we're done, we're not going to do this anymore. And they both, for their own reasons, kind of gravitated back toward trying. Because at one point, Jesse was trying to talk Walt into doing it again, and Walt was like, get out of here. But then Walt is paying his bills for his chemo, and his checkbook starts going, and he goes back to it. But yeah, I just think I don't even know what. Yeah, at this point, Walt goes on these ups and downs, where his ego is concerned, and like he was really down after Crazy 8. Then he was really up after he pulled that "this is not meth" thing with Tuco. And then he was really up in this episode, And then the end of the episode, not so up. This is scary.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be disappointed in... I'm always disappointed when they do this. I've done it at least twice. When we pick up again, they're going to repeat, I think the entire scene that we saw, or most of the entire scene that we saw with the whole beating and everything, which they should have just picked up instead, but...
Well, that was because it was season 2 and a different season. I think it was just for a refresher.
But we get our refreshers previously on. This is time.
Yeah.
But there's not much dialogue right now. We're going into 737, which is really a beautiful continuation of this, where...
Yeah.
Because Walt has gone from this high to this low. We see the low at the end of this episode, and in the car, he's just going to be doing the math. And going, how long can I hang in there and do this, and then get out? And he's still not getting it. That you don't just shake hands with Tuco and get out. So.
No.
But set up the characters really well.
Yeah, it did.
Marie's still very one-dimensional. Hank branched out a little bit. Skyler got a little bit more to her, and Walt has so many layers yet to be revealed. And Jesse has had his smart moments, but he's still considered the mess up kid, I think. Do you guys think that?
The screw up, in a way.
Yeah, I like how Walt actually says in this episode, you can do this, Jesse. You can find all this stuff that we need. You can pull it off.
You're the only one who can do this.
Yeah. He's giving him some positive reinforcement.
Yeah. And I guess apparently he did a great job, except the methylamine. Oh, which, if I understand correctly, is a major flaw in this whole series, which I forgive. But apparently it's not that hard to get your hands on that.
Oh, really?
On
Something
what?
I read a long time ago, couldn't tell you where or when, but...
Well, I say that changed after this show right now.
It's harder to get...
You're talking about pseudo?
Oh,
no. The methylamine.
Oh, methylamine, okay.
So, negating this whole crisis with it and negating the whole train heist later, I'll have to look into that and see if that's true. But in Mexico at some point, they say they synthesize their own. That I think that's it. That it can be made very easily.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, major, apparently, flaw in the plot that they needed to do the things they did, that I forgive.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
It's the best series ever still, so.
Yeah.
Well, they probably needed to do that for a storyline anyway. Because when season 5 rolls around...
Yeah, I mean, but if they really had thought about it, and I don't know, maybe they were in a rush, because I don't even know, this is another thing, writer's strike season. This is the writer's strike.
Yeah. It was supposed to be at least, like, what, 10 of these?
Right. So what, I wonder what, if anything, they were planning for the season that might have been different.
Mm-hmm.
Did they rush something else in to tie it all up before they went on strike?
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems to me that if they wanted a challenge, Pseudo would have been a bigger challenge.
Yeah.
But there's so many other big flaws in so many other shows. I don't know if you guys are fans of House MD.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh, I used to watch.
Is like it doesn't pick off where it left off. It just continues. It doesn't even mention last week's patient.
Sometimes, but not usually. No, it's things are usually self-contained, but lots of medical errors in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of exaggerations. But I forgave it because it was such a fantastic show. Well, they had a few bad seasons toward the end. I think they could have shortened their run. But I used to write in depth about that one. But, one thing, not to go off too much, but one thing that you would think was not really a possibility in real life was the hemispherectomy. It's when Dave Matthews plays...
I remember that one.
Okay?
Yeah.
And House decides best course of action is to remove, I want to say, the entire right side of his brain?
It was either right or left.
Yeah. But the entire hemisphere. And I'm like, yeah, right. Well, I looked it up, and it's for real. And it's half the brain is dead, and it is dead weight, and you have to get rid of it and let the other lobe take over the other the functions. Mm-hmm. But usually they were off the mark, but forgivable.
Yeah, it ended when it needed to end. Because I think once Cuddy left, I think that's when they had problems.
No, they had problems before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she left because she didn't like the money that she was getting, but they went on without her, and they did have a pretty epic series finale. Mm-hmm. They did a good job.
Is Marty?
Marty's here. Hi, Marty.
We can't hear you, though.
We can't hear you.
You might have to come out and go back in.
She's in her house.
Yeah.
Use sign language.
Oh, I think she... Oh, okay, she's still moving.
Can't hear you. Oh, almost.
Oh, hold
on. Oh, now she's frozen.
I think she's frozen. You might have to...
I think I have to run, you guys.
Well, don't trip, don't run, walk. Oh, by the way, I doubt either of you guys are interested, but, pass it along to anybody that you know who's... I'm going to be trying my own little thing, as I told Shane.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I said it was going to be last week, but mine is actually focusing on the morality and the ambiguity and the ethical debates and that kind of thing. And generally character by character, not necessarily episode by episode like this. Mm-hmm. But character by character, and maybe some characters will have to have more than one chat, Walt being a giant example of that. But I'm going to start with Skyler because it's born out of my Skyler White appreciation group. So I'm going to do that Monday night at the same time, the whole Google Hangouts thing, just like this.
Okay.
And I've decided that if I am the only one there talking, then I'll do it. You know, I've got plenty to say, obviously, but I know it's tough.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking of moving it to Tuesday, but for right now it's Monday. So, but I'll have, you know, and I'm not looking for people to that. By the way, just to agree with me, I'm not looking for people who adore Skyler and think she's the. You know, I'm really hoping to engage some of the many Skyler haters who far outnumber the Skyler fans. I just want discussions that are not quite like the comments you see, which are really kind of crazy. Anyway, a nice jumping point was something that got posted today. It was a picture of Skyler smoking by the window, I believe, and she said, I fucked Ted and then gave $600,000 of my husband's money to him. I don't deserve this. Of course, I had a different take. You know, my husband went crazy, decided to cook meth, and I had to use his dirty drug money to keep us free from an IRS investigation.
Oh, we forgot to touch on that. When Walt and Skyler had that talk, and he said, if I do anything illegal, will you turn me in to the police? Or will you divorce me?
What if it were me? And sometimes people do things for their families.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, what does that mean? Hi, Marty. Are you...
Speak.
Speak. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Thumbs up if you can hear us. Thumbs down, no.
I'd say...
Oh.
Hi, Marty.
Let me give her the link again. Let me see if I can... I'm going to post you the link in your Facebook.
Bye, David.
Oh, David's gone. I would like to hear Marty's side of the take on this episode.
Ditto.
This is what happens when we're live. Tech problems. Google's not cooperating with us.
I haven't seen us have problems like this, though. This is the 7th webcast.
Man, the first night we had major problems. It was like 28 minutes behind.
Really?
Yeah. And it was my side. I thought it was everybody else's side. And I was
Excuse me. It wasn't your learning curve?
What?
It wasn't your learning curve?
What do you mean by that?
Like things that, you know, you have to get used to what you're doing.
Oh, I knew how to do this, but I didn't know if it was my end or if it was in their end. And I was like sitting there for like 15 minutes screaming at my computer, hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me? And so I had to drop out, drop back in, and that's when I was able to pick up.
Excuse me. I'll wait for her.
Marty, if you're on Facebook, I should do a screen share. If you're on Facebook, I sent you a link, so just click on that. Drop out, click on the link, and come back in.
Shane, do you hear some music?
No, why?
Oh, okay. Because I want to figure out how to do that for my chats. I've got Who's Gonna Save My Soul now on, but oh, I see your picture. Hi, Marty. I can't hear her.
Do you have a microphone or anything? Unplug your microphone. Maybe that'll work. There we go.
She's there?
Can you speak? Just speak a little bit. With your microphone unplugged. Nope. No, why?
You know, maybe we have to utilize the chat feature, too, for people having that trouble.
Let's see here. I got a chat room, control room. Let's see.
Yeah. Oh, and while we're waiting, when Jesse is looking at the list of things he has to buy, he reads millimeters as M&M.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking he probably means the rap artist.
Or the candy. M&M's.
Jesse? Eminem?
Yeah.
The white boy in a rap? I think that's Jesse.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's, yeah.
I think she might have closed up.
Marty? Can you hear us?
I think it's in her connection, probably.
Yeah, she doesn't even hear because she's not looking. Looks like she's... I don't know. Oh, she's frozen.
Yeah.
She's done. Well, she didn't think she was going to get to be here anyway, but we can continue these discussions, on YouTube and on Facebook, where they're posted, too.
Yeah.
I think last week I had something I'd forgotten to mention, and I went to one of the links and talked about that, but,
I saw it on the comment.
Something I forgot.
Yeah.
Walt's in a good mood. Wait a minute. Where's that? Oh, Walt's in a good mood when, remember when Jesse gets everything except the methylamine? They're in the garage.
Yeah.
And Walt is happy as a clam. Anyway, because of this confidence thing going on with him. And the Etch-a-Sketch, and he pulls it out like, yeah, this is great, but...
What if we get it ourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the interaction between the two when Walt was mixing the thermite together and Jesse was across from him. And Walt was talking about how thermite can react and hopefully get the lock to break.
Yes, he has to give the whole, the lecture. He's still the teacher. At some point later on in the series when Jesse says he was my teacher, that means a lot of things, but it means he was his actual chemistry teacher. He was his chemistry teacher in the meth business and in some strong life lessons. Here she comes. Fingers crossed. Hey, Marty. Oh, no. And she froze already. Oh.
Wait.
Can't hear you.
No.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Well, that's an improvement.
Unplug yourself and see what happens. If you got anything plugged in like a microphone or a headset, unplug it.
And she's wearing her headset. Can you hear us now? Oh, wait, we can't hear you.
Wait.
Not hearing anything.
Do you think Marie actually doesn't realize that she has a problem? Because I don't think she realized that.
Oh, I think she does. The look on her face when Skyler confronts her, and that's funny too. That's ironic because when she's in the store, Marie's probably planning on shoplifting. Maybe she does after Skyler leaves.
Yeah.
But she just had this very... It wasn't natural the way she reacted, the way her eyes widened, and she got indignant. She really didn't... I think she knows. And she's deflecting. She's in denial about her problem. But in the sense that she knows it's there, so push it away.
Yeah.
Like, she's got to know every time she does this is not a good thing to do. And she did it once. She did it once already with the sneakers, right? before this?
She did it with the shoes.
Yeah.
And then now she did it with the tiara.
Yeah, hashtag first world problems. She didn't like her. Yeah. Oh, Marty. You don't have a built-in microphone on your computer? Oh, no, you do.
Built in, okay.
You've probably got a setting off.
Do you have a second microphone? Type me in the chat room right there.
Or do you think maybe somehow you muted your microphone, or did you by any chance accidentally mute her microphone?
No, because she should be able to hear.
She hears. We can't hear her. That's the problem.
She should be able to talk, but I don't know why.
She's got a built-in mic, so it's a setting.
She's using the earbuds and a mic, but she also has an internal mic. Okay, unplug your mic that you've got plugged in. Maybe that will work. If you have an internal mic, just unplug your mic. She's done it 4 times. Your internal mic might be messed up too, but I don't think.
Or or something, a setting got changed, or the volume on it.
You should be able to look.
Oh, no. Do you have speakers plugged into your computer? You don't have speakers plugged in? Oh. I think it's a setting off.
Yeah, it might be on her again. This maybe on the 15th when we do season 2, she can chime in. Speakers not separate, built into laptop.
Yeah, she's got setting off.
I'm thinking you're probably going to have to restart your laptop, turn it back on. And yeah, I think she's going to have to turn off the laptop and come back on. But if you want, we can leave the Hangout open when I go off the air, when we can test it and see. Will that do?
I'll wait around.
All right, that's cool. Okay, so the 15th is going to be season 2 premiere of Breaking BadCast. Season 2 is going to be one epic season. It's going to be a whole bunch of twists and turns. Some new characters will be involved, especially Saul. Saul Goodman is coming in season 2. And
sometimes it feels like he was there from day one. Oh, speaking of the great news, you heard the great news, obviously.
I've heard it. Mike is coming back for Better Call Saul.
As a regular, man.
As a regular. Oh man, I hope Gus comes back. Gus needs to come back.
Right. Well, because he's got a connection to Mike, and that could work. But I'm getting excited. There could be some more series regulars.
Yeah.
You know, we can get our Huel and our Kubi and anybody. We'll take anybody we can get, man.
Yeah, cousin.
Bring back Francesca, man. I want her too.
Hector might come back. Because if Gus comes back, then I'm saying Hector might come back.
But Mike's got to be involved in that somehow. Oh, well, he is involved in that. Oh, I wonder if they'll do things like get in more depth with the
Dawn.
Things like Salud.
Yeah.
Because Mike was there.
Yep.
Oh. So you're in Turtle, Mike. You have some setting wrong, or... You know what you really should do, Marty? Is turn on sound recorder and see if you can record your own sound. Because then you'll know if you're having some Google problem or a hardware setting or problem.
I'm saying she's probably going to have to shut down her laptop and reset it.
Yeah, sometimes that just has to happen.
Yeah.
But
she's tested them and can hear everything. So, season 2, February 15th. It's going to be action-packed. It's going to be great.
I can't wait to watch it again. I love doing that.
Yeah. So, we'll see you here on the 15th with season 2, and hopefully.
Oh, and Marty, I don't know if you heard me before, but Monday night, I may switch to Tuesday night at the last minute, but right now, Monday night at 8, I'm doing my own little Google Hangout thing, which is about the morality issues in Breaking Bad, kind of character by character, as many chats as they need, and I'm starting with Skyler because of where I'm coming from with the Skyler group.
She wants you to send the link.
Oh yeah, I have a Skyler White. It's Facebook Skyler White fans is my group or page, and I'll be posting links there. And if I'm going to talk by myself, I might just do it, but it's going to be the same as this. It'll go up on YouTube, and this episode was great for Skyler, but maybe we can chat about that.
I like
online.
To get Skyler haters on here. I really do. You know what, Skyler haters, bring it on.
As long as they are not the way they are. Is that too much to ask for?
You know, I don't want no people that has this shrine of Skyler with bullet holes in the picture and darts and everything. That's just too extreme for me.
No, as long as they have reasons that they can express in more than 4-letter words that have no context, no reason to it. I mean, if they have reasons, I'm all for it. I love the debate.
Yep.
So
bring it on.
I'll be bringing it here anyway. So.
So February 15th, season 2. It's going to be great. Hopefully more people join in, and hopefully Marty can get her problems worked out. But yeah. So season 2. Good night, everybody.